the past 3 decades, Hell has experienced a shift in entertainment and technology like nothing seen before. We scroll our phones and tablets, we binge our favorite shows, and connect with friends and foes at the tap of a screen. And one demon is behind it all. This week, we got to sit down with one of Hell's most in-demand demons, Vox. Known to many as the face of the 3 Vs, Vox has been the innovative mind behind Voxtech, starting from pathetic beginnings to overlord status. With this week's public feud with the radio demon and Heaven's recent announcement of an early extermination, we were eager to hear directly from the television tycoon himself. The first thing you notice when you step into Voxtech is the vibrations of the entire building. Although one giant machine, it feels as alive as we all used to be. Our crew is welcomed by Vox's assistant, and we're escorted 20 stories up to where we're greeted by an open boardroom surrounded by an aquarium. At the center is a round table Vox sits at the head of, and he stands to greet us, though he does not shake our hands. There is an air of urgency emitting from the Overlord, and he seems eager to start. Good afternoon, Mr. Vox. Thank you for having us today.
Well, of course. I'm a busy man, but I can always spare a moment for the devious people of Hell.
That's good to hear. So let's jump right into it. It's been quite an eventful week in Hell, especially since the return of the radio demon. Care to tell us more about that?
Alistair's return should be of little concern to anyone. His broadcasts are as ancient and irreverent as he is. His influence in Hell is laughable.
It's interesting you say that, considering Alistair is residing in Princess Charlie's hotel and rumored to have her ear. Does that bother you at all?
No. Well, it's protection. Ha! Yes, he's probably weak after a 7-year absence and needs Lucifer's daughter's bleeding heart to provide sanctuary. Power in Hell is a tough stake to maintain. If you're not at the top, you're prey.
Very true, and it's clear you're at the top of the entertainment business right now. Every citizen in Hell owns some sort of Voxtech equipment. So tell us, what's next for Voxtech?
We're in a new age of technology, my friends. Our company plans to expand bigger and better than before. I dare say we'll be causing radio to become extinct altogether.
So, how do you
plan to do that, you say? Well, Alistair sure as hell won't be in the playing field for much longer. With our new expansions, his silly speakers all over the city will be taken over by news screens.
Well, I'm actually referring to Voxtech Angelic Security you announced a few days ago. How do news screens aid Hell's defenses?
Yes, of course. That's our main priority right now. Hell's protection. We're developing top-of-the-range security alarms with built-in angelic sensors and home lockdown initiation, which we aim to hit stores before the end of next month.
How exciting! With only 6 months on the clock, people are feeling pretty anxious right now. What would you say to them?
I say, trust in us. Like I said, your safety is our top priority. You know whose isn't? Alistair and that damn hotel of his. You want to believe in an overlord who delivers, not disappear for 7 fucking years and then reappear at some shabby-ass hotel promising redemption? I mean, Alistair? Helping redeem sinners? Come on, give me a break. And another thing about what he won't do...
I hate to interrupt you, Mr. Vox, but if I might ask you to elaborate on what you said to give people a more positive outlook on our dire situation at hand. Our safety is your top priority, yes?
Honey, I hear you. What could be more positive than the steps we're taking to provide families and the average citizen confidence in who they can rely on for protection? I'll tell you who won't.
Alistair?
You're damn right.
He snaps his fingers and stands from his seat, clearly elated to rant some more about the radio demon, which I've noted by now is a sensitive topic.
Now the thing about that fucker is he has no consistency. That's the key to success, to earn the trust of our customers. He thinks he can fuck off for hell knows how long, bitch on that rusty ass speakerphone, and suddenly he's back to being top dog? I don't think so. And I'll tell you something else.
At this point, we've completely lost track of our initial conversation. Vox stands up from his desk and begins pacing around us, quite happy to talk at us instead. It's clear to see how Vox has gotten as far as he has. To dominate a conversation that is about him is quite impressive. However, we've learned very little about Vox himself. Moreover, his obsessive detestation for the recently returned radio demon. And yet, it says so much about him. Nevertheless, I'm determined to find a resolution to this interview. Mr. Vox. Mr. Vox! Somehow, he hears me over his own monologue.
Yes?
As much as we appreciate what the radio demon wouldn't do, our readers want to know a bit more about your partnership with the fellow V's in arms. All three of you have different professions, but your influence over Hell is truly a force to be reckoned with. Trust is a fickle thing down here. How did you find it among Velvet and Valentino?
With great difficulty.
The moment I bring up his co-CEOs, something in Vox completely switches. His rigid posture eases up, and his salesman attitude simmers.
Ambition is our common goal. And down here, strength is in numbers. Don't get me wrong, the three of us have had years to build a relationship. Not all smooth sailing either. You want to see how many wires I've had to replace because fucking Valentino stubbed out a cigarette on me? Our brand is who we are. And what we are is always evolving. See this suit? Comes straight from Velvet's fashion house, tailor-made to my needs as a consumer. She thinks outside the box, and you can't put a price on innovation. Maybe on this tie, though.
So you would say you three are closer than the average colleagues, then?
To maintain business of this magnitude, it's essential. We're cogs in a flawlessly run machine. One piece can't function without the other. We've created what other overlords have failed to do, and that is...
Just as the interview has taken a merciful U-turn, our crew is unprepared for what happens next. Vox's office doors fly open, plumes of sickly sweet pink smoke waft in, followed by the tallest and most provocative member of the V's. Valentino waltzes in, like the room belongs to him. He appears to be upset about something and approaches Vox, ignoring our crew completely. The pair fall into an argument that excludes everyone except for themselves, and it's clear that the interview is over. My last observations before we're ushered out by Vox's assistant is that Vox himself is by no means flawless. The face of his brand is as smooth as his screen, but underneath there's a demon just as damned as the rest of us. His obsessions and loyalties are both bemusing and relatable, and after all, who are we all if not once human?